I'm going to talk about how many female engineers are there. Now, when I talk about this topic, I like to start in 1985, and that's when I graduated with my engineering degree. This chart shows the percent of engineers that were female, and you'll see prior to 1985, it was going up pretty significantly. In 1985, 14% of all engineers were women. And what is it today? Well, in 2018, it was 21%. So while it has gone up, it hasn't gone up that much. As a matter of fact, in 33 years, it's only gone up 7%. So we're doing better, but it's been very slow as far as increase in that percentage. What I think is interesting also is to look at the percent of all types of bachelor degrees and who is receiving those. Back in 1981, we reached parity. 50% of all college graduates were women, 50% were men. And then you'll see it's actually gone up and that women now make up 57% of college graduates. And that shows that we need to do a better job, attracting and getting our boys to go to college and graduate. But overall, the numbers of women graduating with degrees has actually gone up. But when you look at the women college graduates, what are they majoring in? They're not majoring in engineering. So 1985, 2.5% about of college graduating women majored in engineering. And that actually went down. It went down in 2015, only 2% of all female majors were majoring in engineering. So we've actually not done as well as far as getting women excited about engineering percentage-wise. Fewer women college graduates are in engineering. Now, how about the men? What do you think's happened to the men? What percent of male college graduates do you think majored in engineering in 2015? Well, it ends up it's 12% in 2015, but that comes off of a high in 1985 of 17%. So it means it used to be 17% of all the men graduating from college majored in engineering, and today only 12% of men. And so what it means actually is when we say that the percent of women have engineering has increased, it's actually not because more women percentage-wise are going into engineering, it's because less men are. And so it's important, I think, that we continue to encourage both women and men to consider engineering. Now, why is that important? And obviously, engineering is not the right major for everyone. But research shows that engineers, even if you don't stay in engineering, those who have an engineering major have a significantly increased potential earnings, lifetime earnings. Engineering can provide security, job security for many people, provides a good income. And we all, society, can benefit by having a lot of diverse people interested in engineering. So that's why this is important. I think this is interesting, so I'm just going to show it in a different way. Well, this is showing it on the left, is if you had 100 college graduates for women back in 1985, on average, 2.5 of those 100 college graduates would be engineers. 30 years later, in 2015, if you took 100 women graduate from college, only 2 of them would be engineering majors. So within college graduates, there are less women interested in engineering than there were 30 years ago. Now, again, we have more of them because more women are graduating from college, but as a percentage, there are less women are interested in engineering now. Now, when I talk about engineering, it's kind of misleading because the major makes so much difference. As this chart shows, this is a percent of female graduates in different majors. And you'll see in environmental engineering, 50%. There's parity, half women, half men are graduate with engineering, environmental engineering degrees. Biomedical is close to that. It's 45%. Get down to civil engineering, 25%. But mechanical, electrical, computer, you'll see that only 13 to 15% of the students graduating with these degrees are women. Now, this is also a little misleading because you need to look at how many people are graduating in these different areas. So you'll see something like environmental engineering, where it was 50%, there's parity. There are very few people that graduate with an environmental engineering degree. In biomedical, also not as many. Most people in engineering graduate with mechanical engineering, computer engineering, civil and electrical. I mean, there are obviously other engineering, so it's just a sampling. And when you overlay the percent, this is a percent of female, you'll see when there's very small amount of graduates, women are more apt to have that parity. But something mechanical engineering, where most engineers graduate with, there just aren't a lot of women. Now, I'm a civil engineer, so I was just kind of curious, what percent of working female engineers are there? And in civil engineering, it's 14%. So although 26% are graduating, actually working is only 14%. And that's because a lot of women actually leave engineering. But what's that number mean? Well, if you took all the female civil engineers in America, it's about 46,000. So I'm from Maryland, and the University of Maryland Stadium can hold about 54,000. So all the women civil engineers in America couldn't quite even fill up the University of Maryland Stadium. And again, I'm from Maryland, so if I just look in my state, there are about 1,000 female civil engineers in Maryland. And if we wanted out of party, we could go to the 930 nightclub. It has a capacity of 1,200. So we basically, all of us could fit in the nightclub, and we can even invite some of our friends. So that's just some information about women in engineering. If you want to find out some more information, you can go to repicture.com/chat/WIE for women engineering. Okay, thanks.